all the respected panelists, dignitaries, and friends. This is not a program. This is not some kind of event. This is a sort of churning, and that is why we haven't used anything related to our brand Organiser here. We want Delhi media and Delhi intelligentsia to seriously think about what is happening in Bengal. And as Swapanda rightly said, what is happening in Bengal and what happened in Bangladesh is not very different. And Sonam said 1960s, perhaps from 1937 onwards, when first Muslim League government came in the then Bengal province. Since then there is a pattern. But there is more fundamental question. Organiser, first time when Nishant undertook, it was almost a lone visit during COVID, immediately after the 2021 assembly election. And I think couple of times when there was a message somewhere in the system that somebody from Organiser is there to cover post-poll violence, he had to shift his location at least couple of times. Then second time, when Sandesh Kali happened, again, the similar pattern. In fact, he couldn't make it during that time and he was advised not to go. But still, he could meet some of the victims. And third time now, when Murshidabad happened, the similar pattern, but this time our team went village by village, covered large parts, and some of the people who were actually there in the camps in Malda, they were also interviewed. But most of the religious places, the Hindu places and the Hindu houses, they tried to cover. And because there was a narrative set from Kolkata and then resonated in Delhi, that it is because of the rise of BJP, rise of RSS, this violence is happening. So we thought we seriously need to discuss. Shri Nandakumarji is sitting here. I remember in the Constitution Club itself, first time ever we talked about political violence in Kerala. And that time nobody was ready to buy this. While there is a documented fact that more than 330 RSS Swayamsevaks and BJP Karyakartas are killed. And remember, most of them were actually, after emergency, changed their sides from Communist Party to RSS. And that's why they were the target. If BJP RSS would have been the problem should have been in Madhya Pradesh, in UP. Why everywhere the Communist Party has ruled and demography had changed in favor of Islamic clusters, we are seeing this pattern of political violence is the fundamental question. And are we ready to confront this? Because pre-partition period we have seen this, that this is a mindset. We have seen this in Tripura. In fact, in Tripura also, when we first time went, and Manik Sarkar was a very celebrated communist leader who was supposed to be in, a chappals and a very sober kind of, but the kind of pathetic situation that people had to face there, first time Organiser tried to cover. So, the issue that I want to raise here is whether political violence in a democracy is absolutely accepted pattern if somewhere communists are ruling. 1. 2. When demography changes with Islamization of democracy, is political violence inevitable? And if these questions are not good enough, the question is whether we are ready to accept and confront this trend which we have seen in the pre-independence era, and without getting trapped into secularism, communalism debate, are we going to confront this on purely on the norms of one, democracy, and two, national security? And with these fundamental questions, we thought we actually have many more pictures from three layers of violence: 2021, 2023, and then 2024. But there were limitations. But we thought at least, Murshidabad should be talked about, because much of a water has already flown, and as if this election commission's entire exercise is now basically meant to remove the so-called quote-unquote minorities from the electoral rolls. Entire debate has shifted to this now, instead of talking about the illegal immigrants and their activities. There is one interesting pattern I recently came across. Wherever the demography has changed, I'm not talking about just West Bengal or Assam, even in central part of India, wherever Bangladeshi and Rohingya pockets are created, there the crime rate has increased. Again, in media, we are not talking about this. I don't know why. So, just to raise these basic questions, we thought, let us, bring some people together. Swapanda always has been the great supporter and admirer of Organiser. So is Kanchanda. Agnimitra Didi, we just, had a brief conversation, requested her, and she decided to come all the way from Malda, and she has seen on the ground what actually happened. So we thought, Deepda has not just Bengal, but even Bangladesh, what has happened. He has covered very extensively. And that's why we thought Deepda would be another important person. So we just hope that this become a movement. Murshidabad should not become a dead news. It should create and invoke our sensibility in favor of democracy, in favor of constitutionalism, in favor of the systemic. Here I must confess, of course, Nishant covering it has another dimension. Because most of the times, and I remember a couple of cases where I had to literally tell him, be careful, have somebody with you, because he was actually talking to some of the victims who were women, who were brutally raped. And then there was a blatant denial from Kolkata and Delhi that nothing has happened. In such a scenario, a male journalist going there and covering and talking to those victims was more a tricky part. So, most of this violence, the victims are either scheduled caste or women. This is another pattern that we need to thought about. Actually, we generally think this more in the political prism, TMC versus BJP, earlier TMC versus CPM. Sorry. This is not just an issue of conflict or competition between two political parties. This is to do with our nation, a part of our nation, a part of our nation that at one point was a cradle of Indian Renaissance, Indian nationalism, Indian thought leadership, Hindu Renaissance against British rule. That part is being taken over. Half of that is already gone. Two people, Shama Prasad Mukherjee and Dr. Ambedkar, who actually saved West Bengal and openly gave a call to many people that you come back, you can be saved as Hindus in the western part of Bengal. The fear is, are we losing that part of Bengal? And as Swapanda said, it is turning into West Bangladesh. So it is a very, very serious issue beyond politics, beyond party politics, beyond just electoral mathematics. So I request all, to deliberate upon whatever being put forth by the eminent panelists today. But on this backdrop, we have organized this, and we are really thankful that you have everybody has responded so positively to this initiative. Thank you very much.